Hey guys, in this video we're going to learn about the properties of a kite. And a kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of consecutive sides that are congruent. So here's our example of a standard looking kite, and the consecutive sides that are congruent, you'll notice that you'll have, like for most kites, that you'll have two short sides and two long sides mostly, but those sides are congruent. So here's a consecutive side, one right after the other, and then another pair of congruent sides that are consecutive would be the two other ones. That's what makes this quadrilateral a kite. Now, two properties of a kite that we know of that we're going to talk about is that the diagonals are perpendicular. So if we know that a quadrilateral is a kite, or if a quadrilateral is considered to be a kite, then we know for a fact that its diagonals are perpendicular. So if we draw our kite with our consecutive sides that are congruent, if we draw a diagonal and its other one, they intersect at a 90-degree angle. So that's what one property of a kite is going to be. The second property of a kite is that the opposite angles of a kite are going to be congruent. So exactly one pair only, not both, but one pair of opposite angles are congruent. So if you have our kite again, now you see how we have the two consecutive congruent sides here and here, and then also here and here? Well, in between the two non-congruent sides are the two angles that are going to be congruent to one another. So we have one of the two congruent sides and the other one of the two congruent sides. In between those two sides is going to be the pair of our congruent angles. So these two. So these two are our one pair of opposite angles that are congruent. Alright, so then in our example, we have to find the measurement of angle T in our diagram. And specifically it says that's a kite, and we can tell that by just looking at it as well, that we have two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So we have one pair and another. Okay. So then looking at this kite, if we're trying to find angle T, in between the one of two congruent sides of the kite and the other one of two congruent sides of the kite are going to be our two angles that are congruent. So then we can mark T and R as congruent. So then all the interior angles must add up to 360 in a quadrilateral. So we're going to just mark the values of T and R as x's. So we're going to set variables equal to them, and then write our equation based on the fact that we know that 1, these two angles have to be congruent, and 2, all the angles must add up to 360. So x plus 70 plus 88 equals 360. Combine like terms, subtract 150 from both sides, and then divide by 2. Each angle should be 105 degrees. So angle T specifically is 105.